Hello and welcome to Artclstudios, drawing and talking. Today we're back with a new topic. Today's topic is fasting. Fasting. And today I'll also be animating or continuing the animation that I started last Monday. So Mondays might be turning into a drawing motion Monday, which is where something that I started a while back, but it's been a little hard to keep up. But with this live, it's been it's made its way back into my mind, into the art world for me. So I'll be animating every Monday so far. And I've been able to do it for a week fully, 2 weeks now. I did the push-up challenge, which you can find on my YouTube channel, and I did the first part of this, which is, again, thank you to Quebrada for lending me his video to use it for references. Let's see how quick or slow this is. All right, and let's check that the mic on YouTube is working right. Let's see how quick or slow this is. All right, and let's check that the mic on YouTube is working right. Sounds to be working fine. And let me start sending out these live to the people, because they come in when it's only at 50 minutes left. So let's make sure they get in early. There we go. So thank you again for tuning in today, and thank you for, and something happened. Let's see. Enough. Experience viewing, experience buffering. All right, let's see. All right, so it might be a little slow. And so today we're back with Sketchbook Pro for the animation. And let's see. Yeah, so it's gonna be one of those slow days. Thought it had said perfect reception. YouTube, what happened? All right, so today we're talking fasting. So my wife and I have been doing these Instagram live where we do meditation, and tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. we'll have a next live. And I believe we'll have it through Zoom, so the meditation will be a little more personal. But exploration, and speaking of the topic, would be through Instagram Live. So there'll be interaction going on. Hey, Vinetta Mine, welcome to the live. So yeah, so tomorrow we'll be doing the live where we'll be speaking about, fasting, a little bit about fasting, speaking about experience. But today I'm fully going into fasting because fasting is something that I've been practicing for a long time. Every once in a while I fast, but for a year now I've been doing intermittent fasting, and it has been something very interesting because we're told, because of the studies and stuff like that we're only supposed to eat that we're supposed to eat 3 times a day. But
for the past year, I've been talking to New York City.
I'm a pretty spiritual person, and I like to defy my body, my mind, go against my cravings. And doing fasting is not an easy thing, but we decided to jump into it because of what's going on, and dedicating certain things to certain people, um, to the less fortunate, and some people that are going through hard times. So they always it's always recommended that when you fast, you have an intention for fasting. So that's something that's recommended, just so it gives you more of a drive to fast. Um, so yeah, so we started the fasting last Tuesday, and it's gonna end tomorrow. My fasting this time consists of only having a glass of drink, like a glass of juice, well, or a smoothie. Glass about this big, but that's pretty much my whole meal, and it's been fun. It's been challenging, but it's been interesting because I forget that I have to eat, and then when I do have that drink, it fills me up so much. So it's very weird what how the body reacts to when you train it. And like I want to just give share some light about this, what consumerism does to us, and how we've been, kind of, I don't want to say the word brainwash, but in short words, it's pretty much what it is. We've been trained to eat 3 times a day, and it is not because your body needs it. It is because the market needs it. And I don't want to sound all revolutionary. I just want you to explore the facts. And if you have time, go and research, what's his name? Sigmund Freud's nephew, which is open source. It's not something that I'm making up, not a conspiracy theory for those conspiracy people or that don't like conspiracy theories. Go look up Edouard Bernays. He's considered to be the father of Edouard Bernays, the father of public relations. In other words, he's been the father of consumerism and getting people into, buying things, eating things. There's a small documentary on YouTube you could look into that shares, his family speaking about it and how they feel bad because like, oh, he didn't mean to do it. He was hired to, work for people to do this. Yeah, maybe so, but it doesn't deny the fact that we still follow it today. And for people that say, oh yeah, the past doesn't matter, what matters is the present. Oh, forget about the past, it doesn't exist, or whatever happened in the past stays in the past. But in reality, what happens in the past makes the present, or makes the future, because of this gentleman doing these experiments and these mind practices, like pretty much training the mind into wanting things that they don't really need. There's a whole industry done, and now I'm part of that because I guess you can consider art as PR and Instagram as PR, where you convince people into looking at things. So we all use it at now, but at that point, it was pretty much for milks, like the milk industry, the egg industry, the bacon industry, things like that. That now we consider heavy things like bacon an American meal. Hey Martha, welcome to the live. So we're talking about fasting today. That's the topic of the live, while I draw a person here doing capoeira. And speaking about I forgot his name already. The nephew of Edouard Bernays. And so we were trained to think that, bacon, eggs, and cheese is a breakfast. But when you really think about bacon, it's pretty heavy for the stomach to be having it so early. But we disregard what our body says. Maybe the first time you had bacon, it was pretty heavy. But the first the first time is the only time that you'll feel the difference. After that, your body gets used to it. Especially if you feed it constantly the same things, it would be sort of like drinking water after a while, because the body's a really smart system that is made to make us survive. So the fact that it doesn't affect you now doesn't mean that it's healthy for you. And so I'm just exploring the topic, but I've been vegetarian for about 5-6 years, and now for the past dabbling here and there in veganism. But for this past year, and well, continuing this year, I've been pretty intentional on not eating cheese. That was the last thing that I'll eat every once in a while. And cheese has been the hardest thing for me to give up. But bread was also a bit hard to give up, but now I don't crave bread that much. So I eat a lot of fruits and salads, do a lot of juices, that's why I decided to do a juicing fast, where I only drink juice. And it's very weird. I took 1 glass of juice today, a fruit smoothie, fruit blends, and I was really full. Like, it's crazy how quick the body gets used to things. I've only been doing this fast for a week, and already my body's telling me, oh, you ate too much. And I encourage people to challenge things that we are taught to be normal, because a lot of the things we know today are not things that we made up. If somebody made it up for us and gave it for us to do, but and the other reason is like that a lot of the things we eat in big countries is processed. A lot of processed foods. If you go to probably a smaller country, or a country that has less things going on, like America. Hey, Carly and Strobe PNG, welcome to the live. So I'm here doing some animation and talking about a fasting challenge that I started last week with my wife. And yeah, welcome. I'm cleaning up, sort of cleaning up, because this program is lagging because of the YouTube stream. But yeah, so a lot of the things we do today is things that we've been trained to do. So Edward Bernays is the father of PR, public relations, and he pretty much made up the whole system of like going shopping, which didn't exist before the 1920s. Everyone made their own clothes, everyone made their own things. And Edward Bernays, which are, people that learn the brain and are able to get things from other people using psychology, which is like a superpower, or like hypnotism. So yeah, so I encourage you guys to look into these people. There's public information about them. People study them to learn about PR. So, just learn a little bit about the things that we've learned and the system that we're already in. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not something that there's no facts about it, or something that just one person made up. It's it's public information that says he is the father of consumerism. So telling people that you need something, it's pretty much a theory that he made and took it to practice, and now we buy a bunch of things we don't need. Like I was saying, before the 1920s, everyone made most of their stuff. Everyone was, if you needed something to eat, you plant it. If you needed to wear something, you will make it. And I just want you to look at things. Now it seems impossible for us to make our own things because of our comforts. and we don't have enough time to do everything. But just try one thing that you can make instead of buying, and you'll be pretty happy and proud of whatever it is that you do. Like, I didn't make the sweater, but I made the logo, and now I'm wearing it, and it's something that I wear very proudly because it's exciting for me to wear my own thing that I made, or I developed with help of somebody else. So yeah, I encourage you guys to put something on a shirt, paint it with paint, or something that you find in your house. And going back into fasting has become easier because I also been doing intermittent fasting for like a year now, which is something. Hey William, welcome to the live. So today we're cleaning up the animation we did last week. So I've been doing intermittent fasting for a year where I eat one meal a day, and that's why this fast has been so easy for me. So, oh yeah, I forgot to put the topic of today. Topic is fasting. And yeah, so I've been kind of getting my body used to things like this. And the fasting has cleared up my mind. I'm really connected to my thoughts, and now I can really tell what I put into my body and see the effect that it has on it. For some people, it might seem crazy to not eat, but it is healthy actually to not eat, and it's like going through a cleaning up process to kind of restart your whole machine, sort of like cleaning your house in order to feel comfortable again. And the only way to do that is by stop consuming things that make you sick, or the things that you've been eating for the past years or so. And what is this? Okay. So when it comes to hold on one second, let's see. When it comes to health, they recommend that fasting is one of the things that helps you with the health. Dímelo, King Donato, welcome, bienvenido. Estamos limpiando la animación que hicimos la semana pasada. Estoy hablando del ayuno, de la importancia del ayuno. Y no solamente por las religiones o cosas así, sino por la salud. Porque le ayuda al cuerpo como a darse un restart. Como toda la computadora o teléfono, tienen que apagarla y prenderla cuando la estén usando para que se calme otra vez. Timo Yoon, welcome to the live. Es también recomendado que el cuerpo le haga un restart, que lo apague en términos de comer y que lo empiece otra vez. And tomorrow, my wife and I will also be going into a little bit about fasting, and also about another topic that it's in my story. I just forgot what it was. But yeah, you guys can tune into that, or send her a DM so she can add you guys into a Zoom call. And yeah. I was thinking about something and I forgot. Oh, and I've been fasting. I fasted over the weekend, and I worked out, and I feel great. My energy level hasn't gone down. My energy level stays still the same. I didn't eat anything at all yesterday, which I was trying it out to see what happens. And today I woke up a little with less energy, but I then took some sun. Dímelo, Daniel, bienvenido al en vivo. Estoy hablando del dibujo aquí, en la animación, y estoy hablando también de la importancia del ayuno, como un tópico general, que yo hago esto en vivo, pero me la paso más hablando que dibujando a veces. Y bueno, el tópico de hoy es el ayuno, y yo he estado ayunando por 2 semanas ya, una semana que diga, la semana pasada empecé, y es algo que me está ayudando como liberar la mente y pensar más en como cosas más espirituales y cosas así. Pero no solamente por razones religiosas ni eh, de la cuarentena ni eso, sino porque pensando en gente que tiene menos o gente que están pasando en unos momentos difíciles ahora, so, tenemos a esa gente en pendiente. And yeah, so I was working out on Sunday. I did capoeira in the sun, and I felt great. My energy was up. My my body didn't feel weak. So a lot of the things that we're told, like, oh, protein is the only thing that makes us strong. It's sort of like again making us consumers of like products that have a lot of protein. But when you think about it, everything that we eat has protein. And if you don't believe me, you can Google it. You know, Google any fruit or vegetable and look up the protein value in them. There might be lower protein value than in meat, but it has protein. So we're told that only meat has protein, and again, these are all marketing strategies. Not saying that it's wrong, but they're strategies to shift our brain. Gracias, gracias. Estamos aquí experimentando con el cuerpo a ver qué le pasa al cuerpo si hacemos algo así. Y oh, I forgot to pin the topic. There we go. Y el cuerpo es algo que se acostumbra a lo que sea que nosotros le digamos. Antes yo no podía vivir sin comerme un sándwich en la mañana. Y ahora tengo ya como un mes que no como pan. Un mes o dos casi que no como pan. Ni cereal. Solo comiendo fruta y algunos vegetales. Pero comiendo más fruta. Alright, so one thing also that helps through these animations is to try to do one stroke. So that way you can have a solid line. And I used to think at least, that people that didn't eat meat would go really skinny and would die because vegetables are not fruits or not foods. But it's all the quantity that you consume that fills you up. Because if you have something in combination, it fills you up faster. Like I'm from the Dominican Republic, and we eat a lot of rice, beans, and chicken. And that was our meal every day. But it's because that was what was made in the country or what sell well or something like that. But the moment I came to America, I would eat cereal, bread, a lot of bread, and try out different things that were also food. But to not have a plate of rice and beans at 12 o'clock in the afternoon sounds like madness to somebody in the Dominican Republic. So, because of the culture, belief and comfort and accessibility again. Usually they say that the land will grow anything that you need. And I've been drinking also a lot of tea. Yeah, I forgot to mention that I've been drinking a lot of tea. And we bought a dandelion tea bag, and we actually have a dandelion flowers growing in the backyard. Literally, like, it grows because nature knows. And I don't think anybody planted them, but it's just growing there as normal as the grass, and some people consider them weeds, and there's a lot of things that we consider weeds that are actually beneficial for us. And yeah, because we don't know, we have made unaware of these specialties that these plants have. Because we don't know any better, we are made into consumers. But you can always learn about something. We have the internet. You can always Google something. You can always buy a book about herbs and things that you can grow, things that you can eat. And even like if you live in an apartment, there's things that you can grow, like tomatoes, like house things that can be controlled in a small environment, and that the weather could be controlled by the weather in your apartment, and they don't require. Well, I can't speak too much on it because I haven't grown it myself, but I'm seeing a lot of people grow their own vegetables in apartments, and then they just pick them and they eat them. And yeah, so another benefit of fasting that I've encountered is that I save money. And in this quarantine, things running out, people may need them more than me. Just rather, if I know how to do this fasting thing and make it work for me, also there'll be somebody that can benefit from buying something that I don't buy. So there's more in stock for someone else. And yeah, growing up in the Caribbean, for me until I was 11, was something that always told me that you can I had grapefruit trees in my backyard, cherry trees, I had a guava tree, orange, lemons, and like for a lot of people, this countries like the Dominican Republic and countries that harvest a lot of their own fruits in their backyard, they're considered poor countries. But in reality is that they're considered poor because of the material things that they don't have. But in reality, the health is better because you grow it yourself. And so they might be poor in material things, but they might be rich in health and in things they can do with their crops and, getting things from their backyard. We had a lot of tomatoes. We had, what else we had? We had peppers, red and green peppers. And my mom would be like, go grab me this from over there, go grab me that. And whatever we didn't have, there was always somebody that had. So we will go ask somebody that had. And neighbors had mango trees. We had a mango tree, but wasn't ours. It came over to our backyard, so whatever dropped on my side, we called it ours. And that was another system of getting things for free. So, and bartering is a system that has been forgotten. But in these times, Sandiel, bienvenido, dímelo. Estoy hablando de allá como vivía en la República Dominicana, que teníamos mucha mata de frutas y era gratis, como quien dice. Ahora aquí en los países que uno no puede crecer sus propias frutas o que no tiene espacio para crecerlas, se le hace más difícil y tiene que comprarla. Pero que allá todo el mundo crece su fruta, el que pueda, en su patio y se come su cosecha cuando le llega el tiempo. Y esos son un privilegio que uno cuando se muda a un país y que más rico o educado pierde esos privilegios. Pero es un intercambio de recursos por mejora, pero la salud le afecta a la persona y son cosas que uno no la piensa al momento, pero al pasar el tiempo se da cuenta uno que las cosas cambian. Ya tú sabes. Y estoy aquí animando el personaje que empecé la animación la semana pasada que diga, de un capoeirista dando una patada. And by the way, for those who don't know what capoeira is a Brazilian martial arts that came from Angola, and they've practiced it all throughout Brazil, and some Caribbean countries have it too. Countries like, I think, Guyana has capoeira, and Jamaica, I also think, has capoeira. If you see this move that they do in Jamaican dancing or Jamaican music, it's not I wouldn't say it's derived from capoeira, but you can see some similarities in them. Y bueno, estamos animando aquí, limpiando las líneas, aunque la computadora es un poco lenta. Pero ya ahora está cogiendo un poco de rapidez ya. Yep. Alright, so and fasting is not for everyone. You know, like you can't just say like, I'm not gonna eat for a bunch of days, because what would happen is you would get headaches because you're withdrawing from sugars that you have been consuming. Hey Mels, welcome to the live. So today we're talking about fasting and animating an old animation, well, last week's animation that I did of the Brazilian guy. And you know, talking about the benefits of fasting. And I was just gonna jump into the fact that when we start fasting, sometimes we might get headaches, or if we don't eat for a while, we might get headaches, and those headaches come from the withdrawal of sugar most times, because it has been proven that sugar acts like a drug to the system, and the moment you stop consuming it, you feel like you're withdrawing from any person that has gone through like a drug problem or drug addiction or something like that. If they don't consume the drugs, they become a little bit frantic, and the body gets aches, and that's exactly how the body acts when it doesn't get sugar. If you have gotten used to it animating. If you have gotten your body used to eating a lot of sugar, it acts in that sense. And you know, like healthy sugars that come from fruits may react different to the body, like natural sugars. But like sugars that come from artificially enhanced things may react in a bit of a harsher way to the body. So yeah, again, I've been fasting for tomorrow I make a week, just drinking juice. And you know, I add in my juice strawberries, pineapples, bananas, things like that. Not always good that I know. Not always good that I know. Yeah. And no milk. So I've been only drinking liquids and juice, yesterday I actually had no meals, and it felt different, you know. But again, it's good to put theories to test, especially because the things we know are things that we've been told, and because we've been told things, we just follow them blindly. And little do we know that a lot of the things that we're told is for, for the system to work correctly, as the study that says having 3 meals a day is healthy for you. But and you know, it probably is healthy after you've gotten used to it. But having 3 meals a day helps a lot. The people that sell the fruits to know that, or the people that sell foods to know that they'll be in market and that they'll be sustainable. Restaurant business is important to encourage people to eat 3 meals a day. But little known fact is that those studies are done by or paid by the people that have these businesses. And again, like I mentioned in the beginning, if you want to look into more of that, you can look into the father of PR, which is Edward Bernays, Sigmund Freud's nephew. And there's like small documentaries of him on YouTube that you can hear from his like family members and from himself speaking about why he developed the things he did. And it was pretty much he was paid to create markets for in the 1920s when the egg markets and people stopped growing their own, would stop farming themselves, and they needed to keep things rolling. Meaning as the sugar of fruits you said before. Oh yeah. So everything again in controlled portions is always more beneficial. But the sugars, that come from fruit are a bit more healthier than the ones that we consume from candies or from processed foods. And if you look at the ingredients in the back of like things that you buy that have color, they'll have these Y5 and 6 something numbers of things that I have no idea where they get these numbers. But again, I'm not a scientist. I'm just talking from my own experience. So, I just encourage people to, do their own digging, and I'm just bringing up some of my lifestyle pretty much of how I've been operating. And it's something that I haven't done in the past to speak about how I eat. But since I'm doing topics every day on this live, I just thought it was interesting to talk about what I'm going through this week. And tomorrow is the last day of the fasting. The one juice a day. One juice a day has become my meal. And like I said yesterday, I didn't have any meals, and that felt very interesting. This morning I woke up a little bit tired. So I stayed in bed. Well, I didn't stay in bed a lot longer, but I just felt like I had to have something after one day of not eating. But this is a little bit more of a far-fetched theory or of a notion of what fasting could become. So there's people that go days without eating, and if you want to look into it, look up breatharians on either Google or YouTube. That these are people that live off of air, just not eating anything at all. This might be a new term for some people, but they actually been around since like the 70s. And these are people that what we've been told is called oxygen. In some belief system, it's called prana, which in the Indian system is called prana. And that's pretty much what the main thing the body needs to survive is oxygen, because the blood needs oxygen, our lungs, our brain needs oxygen. If you stop breathing if you inhale and never exhale, we die. And if you exhale and never inhale, we also die. So the body, there's a theory that the body was made only for air, and then we kind of, learn other ways to get energy, but through air and sunlight, that's like plants in a way, right? We were supposed to survive, but through evolution, we change our way of eating, and the habits of humans have changed. But in theory, um, humans can survive off of air alone, which is, don't take my word for it. Don't go out there and try it before you do research, and you make sure. And don't be like, oh yeah, he told me to do that, so now I'm ill. I'm not advising anybody to do anything. I'm just telling you to, do research, look these things up, and see what it is about. Because I haven't, I don't do it. I don't just live off of air, but it's like a cool concept to think about, at this point. And especially when in times of shortage, that people are experiencing shortage, it's good to know other options too, because you'll be saving time, money, and you'll be saving, you'll be getting healthy as well. And one thing that I also see a lot about is the people that, we'll hear a lot of people going hungry and people dying of hunger, but we don't really hear people talking about fasting. We don't really hear that promoted because it doesn't make money. If you fast, it doesn't make money for any corporation. It doesn't make money for businesses. If you're not part of society, you're pretty much not helping anybody's way of doing things. So we're encouraged to be part of society, but sometimes we just turn into sheeps and just follow everything someone else does. And we all do it, but I also encourage people to create your own way of thinking, without harming anybody, of course, and not harming yourself either. But question things, look into things that you were told were bad for you, and look into why they're bad. Don't just say like, oh yeah, it's bad for you. Look into the reasons into why certain things are happening to you, or things that your parents told you not to do, and not never explain why you didn't do it, and then you grew up just following their way of living, which we now know that we are now freer than ever in certain ways. We have more choices of things, and we should not be afraid in trying them. Never in my life did I ever think I would be doing this, just like talking to a camera. And I'm not making money yet, but possibly making money off of this, so this could be a potential career. But even drawing, like something that has been done forever. I didn't grow up thinking that I was gonna be making money off of drawing alone, but that's a way of living now that I work from home, and my clients pay me to draw. But if I would have told that to my parents when I went to school, they'd be like, "Oh no, change your career, because you're not gonna make it." But just being of service for people that need the service opens up a lot of windows and a lot of doors. Thank you to those, by the way, who joined the live and came in for a few moments, and those who joined in on Facebook. Again, I encourage you guys to subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/Artclstudios, to see the full videos. And I'll be live for 1 hour from 10:30 to 11:30. That is the benchmark that I've been going for, and I've been sticking to it so far, and so far so good. I do feel like I'm getting a lot done. But with the streams, it's mostly for the talking part that I do it, because I want to incorporate things that I've learned and share with people that want to learn it. So let's see how this looks. And we're missing a couple of things. All right, here we go. So we're sort of being cleaned up. Not fully there yet. But I also want to add some of those effects that I have in the beginning. I didn't continue it on the end. So I want to add those here now. Like in these kicks. To indicate more motion, because this does a big jump. And there could be an in-between here to kind of make the motion a little smoother. There we go. Oh. And maybe, yeah, this one can just be a bit blurry and just have this effect there. Let me get some water to continue this talking. And yeah, so I have been drinking a lot of water. And water does a lot to your body too. So they also say having 1 glass of water in the morning helps your system kind of come back to life, you know, like revive after not having food all day, all night pretty much. So first thing in the morning they say is, you know, grab a glass of water before you consume any solids. And one thing they say is also like that breakfast is called breakfast because you break the fast, which the fast that you go through at night. Let's say if you sleep 7 hours, 8 hours, it's you haven't ate for 7 hours, and they usually say every 3 hours you eat or every 5 hours you eat. But when you go 8 hours, what happens to your body then? So those were, you know, were the theories of eating every 2 hours, every 3, 4 hours. It comes faulty in certain ways. So, you know, you have control over your body. So, you know, try to experiment in things to see how you feel and how your body reacts to certain things. And you'll be surprised of all the things that you could do. Might be able to kick like this guy is kicking and do flips. Because when you consume heavy loads of food, it also makes you a little heavier. Because the body needs to start working again and makes you sort of like focus on things that you didn't have to before, you know. So every time you eat, we're told that food is what gives us energy, but it's just you have to stop whatever you're doing after you eat, and then the energy is gonna go to you because of the food you ate. But also, like, we're not told all the things our body produces itself. Produces a lot of things on its own, and I'm not saying that we don't need to eat, but, you know, change or look into other ways of eating just for fun, maybe to experiment with how you eat and to be healthier. As we see in this pandemic that we're going through, the people that were mostly affected were people that had diabetes or have high blood pressure, heart problems, and all those problems come from not having control of how you eat. And I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Sebi. He's somebody that I learned about 3-4 years ago. He passed away recently, and he talks about how the one problem that we have is actually phlegm or fluids in our system. They say if you have fluids in your sinuses, it's called sinusitis. If you have fluids in your lung, it's called bronchitis. If you have fluids in, mucus. Mucus is the one that affects most of the arteries and parts of our body that creates diseases. But once you get rid of mucus, which is pretty much through eating, it creates a healthier way of being. If you rid the body of mucus, you rid the body of a lot of issues and a lot of diseases that it may have. And now, at one point, I did have asthma, and it went away. The doctors never explained how it went away. I used to have an asthma pump, and I used to play basketball and things like that. And every time I played basketball, my whole body would I started to cough, and I had a lot of phlegm. And then little by little, it just disappeared because I kept doing it. So I trained the body into not stopping. When I ran, when it was cold, I started coughing, and I just threw out a lot of phlegm. And the body again gets used to things that we make it go through. But I never got an explanation on how it stopped or how it disappeared. And one thing that creates a lot of phlegm are a lot of dairy products, like a lot of milk, cheese. And those are things that we don't learn in school. We don't learn in regular living. You have to do research. Drinking cow's milk and all these certain products are, not for human consumption, but because the way the market was rolling at one point, it was normal, But healthier things to consume are like almond milk. I mean, almond milk, rice milk, there's a bunch of options. And if you're not into those things, maybe give it a try one day and see how it is. At first, it will taste like water, but then after a while, you realize how you don't really miss a lot of things. Because bread, again, like I was mentioning, bread has been the last thing that I had given up. And the only way I ate bread at this point was baked with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But cravings is what really controls the body. And when it comes to cravings, the craving of the body is pretty much asking for sugar or for something that your body really has gotten used to. And at the long run, they say we have good parasites and bad parasites in our body. It's usually the parasites that are telling your brain what to eat and how to feed. So in that way, it's pretty much like you have an alien in your body telling you how to eat or what to consume. It might seem a little disturbing for some people, but it's look into it. Let me not say there's some facts in there, but look into it. Look into why do we crave sugars, why do we crave certain things, and learn to control your urges, because that gives you power and freedom too. I bought a bunch of things right before I started fasting because the fasting was not something that we were planning. It just happened, and a bunch of chips, and I had a bunch of just bought a bunch of fruits, and I haven't been eating fruits like that. And my wife is the one that started the fasting with fruits, but I just see it there, and it's kind of hard for me to just see it. Hey, Black Queeness, welcome to the live. Talking fasting today. Talking about how I bought a bunch of things right before the fast, and all I do is just look at it and continue my day as if I didn't see anything. Because what really the fasting does for the mind, not the benefits not only for the body but for the mind is to really know that you're in control of your decisions and you're not letting your urges or your cravings control your life. And that has made me realize how much how much power I've gotten in making my own decisions and not letting the the body guide my mind. It also gives you some clarity to, some spiritual gains, clarity on some spiritual things. But that could be another topic for another day. So we're now at 1 minute and 27 seconds. I mean, 11:27. We're now reaching almost 1 hour. Let's see what the YouTube live says. That we have been live for 58 minutes. So we're almost at that mark where we will be breaking out. And today was sort of a low, mellow live. Less excitement, more information, a lot of talking, and drawing too. But the drawing is a bit slower because of changing the poses and continuing the animation. So again, I do want to make this into an every Monday thing where I do some animation. And let me know what you guys think about the flow of these things so far, all these live and all these drawing and talking that I've been doing. Let me know what you think, and if you have a topic that you want to discuss in any future live, just send me a DM and we can open up the floor, and maybe you could be a guest and present the topic, and then we can discuss it and people can chime in. I give my opinion because again, everything's opinion based. Everything that I say here is my opinion. Some facts, which you can do your Googles. But I always recommend people to take my advice and words with a grain of salt and then do your own research. Because we don't know everything. And I just want to share. A year ago, I made a video where I told people to join me on the journey. And the journey has continued. This has been the most consistent I've been on YouTube. So I hope you guys have been enjoying that as well. Thank you to everyone that has been, commenting and leaving their thoughts on my drawings, on my live, on YouTube, that have been subscribing. Thank you so much. So let's see if we go back to the beginning, how the cleanup is coming out so far. This might be something that I do also offline because it might be a little faster. Let's see. I'm just taking away the under. Okay, so we only got to frame 9. So frame 9. So starting from 1 to frame 9. Alright, so let's see how it looks. Looks like there's some motion, but what makes this motion look like a motion is really the blur effect that it has in the bottom. So the live has come to an end. We got 28 seconds left. So I appreciate you guys joining in, those who came in. It has been a pleasure for me to be hosting this live. And we'll be back tomorrow with more live. Tomorrow, I have no idea what we'll be drawing, but it should be something cool. So thank you again, drawing and talking. Peace out. Let's see. Well, let's see actually on the one final look at the whole. What? Wait a minute. All right. You almost lost all the other frames. Yeah, so it's coming out pretty good, the cleanup where the lines is consistent. And that's a blank frame. And that's a blank frame. All right. So this is pretty much what I've worked on so far. Just need to add more effects to it and it'll look finished. Thank you to everyone joining in on YouTube. We appreciate your time being. Hope you guys had a fun time. Let me know what you thought about the topic of today, what you thought about fasting, my perspective on fasting, and I hope to see you guys soon. This has been Artclstudios. Never stop learning for you, because when you learn, you can teach others. Peace. And where are we? There we go. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on social media. And if you like the video, click the like button. If you want to see more videos, click the video in the middle. And don't forget, never stop learning for you.